How do you feel?
I feel great. Not because I'm retiring. I just feel pretty good. I'm very lucky. I've got a wonderful wife who takes excellent care of me, and I've got great kids, and I try really hard to work out and keep myself physically in shape. The job is exhausting. It is because it's not a job. I took it as a mission. When I was mayor, it was my mission to make Worcester better. When I became executive director of the Housing Authority, it was my mission to improve the lives. And when you have a mission, unlike a job, it's 24 hours a day. It's getting up at 2 in the morning, sending emails to my staff, and they would all laugh when you go into work and they'd say, "What time did you get your email?" "I got mine at 2. "What time did you get yours?" "Oh, I got mine at 3. And they'd laugh because you never know when the boss is going to get an idea, or I'd come into the office and say, "Okay, get me these 4 or 5 people to show up," and I've got another idea. And they'd say, "Oh God, another idea."
Mike O'Brien was known to do that as city manager. I mean,
may have been.
Is that a type A? Are you a type A?
Oh, I'm an A+. And not in terms of grades in school, but no. But it is. Look, I can put my feet up and take a nap and rest and have no problem. But when you have a mission, when you believe that it is your job to help somebody who needs your help, whether you're mayor or executive director of the Housing Authority, it's very compelling. And so you can't brush it off. You can't take a vacation and not have your iPhone or your iPad. So, my son-in-law teases me and says that my iPad is an extension of my hand because it's constantly with me. We'll go to the beach and I'll be doing emails, because someone will text me with an idea or with a circumstance, and all of those things flow through me. You want to make sure that every detail is handled a certain way. And if it fails, then it fails because you didn't do it properly, not because you delegated it to a subordinate. They didn't.
Why are you retired? You seem to still have the passion.
I do.
You seem to be in pretty good shape.
I am.
You've got a really good thing going. At least it looks like the Worcester Housing Authority is going in a very positive direction. A better life, which garnered you a lot of criticism, seems to be, paying dividends. Why walk away now? And where are you walking to?
Well, what I wanted to, I've done all the things with the Housing Authority that I can do at this level. It's as safe as I can't make it any safer than what we have. I can't make it any cleaner. You were there the other day. I challenged you. Find a paper. You couldn't find one all the way up and down Tacoma Street, and you looked.
That's true.
I can't do much more than what I've done. But what I can do is I can go and spread the good news about a better life. I can go to other communities and try to put it there. I can go, even after I'm gone, I have at least 1 or 2 meetings scheduled with members of the Congress in Washington to talk about expanding the program in Worcester on the federal properties, but also beyond Worcester in other communities. I'll do some consulting.
You've done consulting before.
I'll do some housing consulting.
Just housing consulting?
Well, wherever I.
What about the city of Worcester? Would you ever consult with the city of Worcester? You're a former mayor, former councilor, obviously.
I've done municipal consulting before. Mm-hmm. If the city called and said we need help with this or that, or can you take on this project, I'd do it in a heartbeat. We haven't moved out of Worcester. Our kids have all grown up and they're gone. But I have difficulty leaving the city for any extended period of time.
Are you staying here?
Yeah, we're staying. Oh, sure. Worcester is my home, and I'm one of those guys that when the Red Sox lose every single year, I'm still a die-hard Red Sox fan. And if Worcester has problems, I'm not leaving. It's my home. So if they
politics in the future again?
Only if my wife lets me. When I left, I came home one day. 2 of my closest friends had passed away, very young, and within the year before I left. And I said to my wife, I came home one day and I said, the kids need me to be at home to go to their games, to coach their teams. I said, so I'm coming home. I'm not going to run for re-election. And she said to me, you don't have to come home. You stay as long as you want, but when you come home, you belong to me. Mm. And so I'm going to keep that promise until she releases me from that. But there are so many ways you can serve. I love public office. I
But
love.
public, are you saying that another election campaign and the political stab is not out of the cards for Ray Mariano?
I've said repeatedly that I would never do X and Y, and I found myself always doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do.
Okay.
I mean, when I was in the school committee, I said, I have no interest. I'm never running for the city council, and I ran for the city council. When I was in the city council, I was offered the job of executive director many years ago. I said, yeah, I have no interest. I'm not going to do that, and I took the job. So.
Because there's an election next year, Ray, and
I do. I know that.
there's a mayor's race.
I do know that. I was at a wedding the other day on Saturday. An old friend's son was getting married, and some pals of mine that I've known since I was a teenager came over, and we were talking about Worcester, and they started their own campaign, which was to get me to run for mayor again. And I said, well, you've got to talk to my wife. So they're now composing their plan. My wife is out of the country with her parents, so they're composing their plan to chat with her.
Now, you've been mayor once, I believe. When? Was it 4 times? Oh, that's right. You've got 2 up on Jordan Levy, because Jordan was mayor twice.
40.
So
In consecutively.
a 5 is a fifth time.
It's
Not
not
the cards?
it's not likely, but you never know. Who knows? What I want to do is be of service. When I was doing my private consulting, I remember I came home one day and my wife said, "How was your day?" And I said, "Well, made a lot of money today." And she said, "Well, what did you do?" And I had a marketing problem from a client in Ohio, and I drew 2 ants, a mother ant and a baby ant. And the client looked at it and said, "This is fabulous. This is great." And he sent it to someone in Maine, and they were going to use it, and they were all excited. And my wife said, "Well, what's wrong with that?" I said, "Don't tell the kids. I don't want them to know that that's what their father got paid for." When you work in the public sector, you're not dealing with widgets. Your product are your friends and neighbors. Your product are people who need someone to help them. What's better than that kind of service? It's so exciting. It's very demanding and very frustrating. But when you're done, when you've helped somebody that couldn't help themselves, or there's no better feeling than that. It doesn't. I've been to the White House. I've had lunch with the Prime Minister of Israel. It doesn't make it. Oh, that's all nice. Those are nice stories. But there's nothing better than seeing someone who, when they see you years later, and they break down crying, telling you how meaningful what you did for them was to their life or to their family. And that's what government does. I mean, you can do that every single day in government, and you can't do that, anyplace else.